Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadguruntam Namami. Nithyanandam, welcome to this video. My name is Nithyananda
and this is Nithyananda.
So here we are, very excitedly wanted to share about actually the Satsang gems that we got from yesterday's Satsang actually. Swamiji talked a lot actually.
Yes,
I know you liked some parts and I like some parts. So this is Rudra, you want to speak about the part you liked?
Yes,
which really kind of clicked with you in a big way.
Yes, there's so many. Swamiji talked about various subjects, but one of the actually Swamiji described about he gave a beautiful definition of not definition. What is that? He described about the organic brain.
Like what is an organic brain?
Yeah, yes, organic brain means like if your generation, like the 4 or 5 generation of your
yeah, so what Swamiji said actually was, she's so excited she can't speak. See, the bodies that we carry, the food that we eat make the body that we carry. I think Swamiji explained this earlier also. How we become the food we eat. So vegetarian food has its own magic, I should say. So when we eat vegetarian food, your body is able to hold so many more things from the cosmos, from the cosmic energies directly. So what Swamiji actually took it to the next level in the other day, yesterday when he said, I think if your 3-4 generations are vegetarian, so your body that you inherit is going to be a completely different kind of a body in a very, very subtle way, where you can hold the higher visualizations the way it needs to be whole, like with the same strength, with the same duration, to be able to actually get the mappings.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah. So whether it can be done, even Swamiji once said, he said it in the Satsang, he can just in his very young age he carves the deity by himself. So even and he won't even eat for a week because he will carve these deities with so much passion, and also he will read the book and carve the deities, and then he will go on doing that for weeks and weeks until it's done. He go and buy another book with the visualization, with the description of
with the pictures of the actual deities. So when Swamiji carved the deities, he'd never seen the pictures of the deities. But when reading the Dhyana Sloka, with whatever visualization he has, he just makes the deities, and then later on he goes and compares it with the published pictures. So that is, I think that's
like that he did like 300 or 200 of deities he made.
Yeah. So this is a kind of visualization where Swamiji was referring to when he spoke about the organic brain. Be able to see when you read the Dhyana Sukha, it describes a certain deity. So to be able to see the deity at the level, there is deity has a yantra form. It also has a form that we see in our temples today. So seeing that, see all of that is what this visualization is about. Not just us visualizing just some ordinary things. No, we're talking about a completely different level of visualization. To be able to see the geometric form, the yantra form, as well as the more human form that we give to deities today, and be able to see it long enough to be able to draw the image or a picture or carve it.
Yeah, without even missing a single, the what's it called, the tools that they hold in their hands. That's how even the Mahasadashiva, the rishis, actually they were able to see Mahasadashiva within 25 heads. Through this dhyana sloka, they were able to see those forms, and then they were describing it and giving it a form. I mean,
so for people like us to be able to see him, so so that is why they gave the form and gave it to us in the form of deity. So we also can start tuning ourselves to these higher abilities and be able to hold that.
Yes.
And the lifestyle and the food that they have recommended is all for that purpose. Swamiji always said why he recommends vegetarianism is not for any moral purposes. Of course, that is there, that we do not want to take another life form, another form of consciousness, deny it to satisfy just our food or a palate, but also the impact on our physiology. Swamiji described actually in very beautifully. He said, with what, like for us, he said, with whatever emotion you move your body, that is going to get inscribed into your physiology. It first goes into the muscle layer, and after if you're going to continue carrying that same emotion, whether it is anger or fear or worry or stress, for maybe 6 months or a year, it starts going into the deeper layers of the biology. So once it goes there, we will no longer know why, or the reason why we have anger, why we have the fear, why we have the worry, why we have the stress, why we are reacting the way we are reacting, but we will not be able to control it also. It doesn't so this some level it goes so deep into our system, we lose the ability to manage it, or even understand it. So what happens when you have non-vegetarian food? Do you remember, Marutra, what
Yes,
somebody said?
we experience the ups and downs. So even though we cannot hold the visualization longer.
No, we're talking about eating meat, what it does.
Oh, okay.
So when you eat the meat of an animal, now the animal, when it's being killed, when it's nowadays it's industrialization, mechanized process that's happening. If, oh my God, Marudra, have you seen any of the pictures and videos on online?
No, this
Oh God,
I
it's
don't
just
want to
so,
see them. It's
so terrible actually.
Yes.
The way the animals are treated and maintained,
And
that is the experiments they're doing, or just even like for food processing, they're being used.
And even it's actually producing more green gas emission than even the global transportation. Anyways, it's
that's a different topic. So anyway, so what happens to the animals when they're being, first of all, treated like that? They're not happy. So that's what they're going to be carrying memories of in their body. And secondly, when the whole process of converting that into meat, it is just so horrible. I mean, in those days, I remember, people just have one off and they make something out of it. But now it is like the animal knows much beforehand it's going to die. It sees its fellow beings being murdered, and so all the hormones in it, the fear, everything is going to shoot up in its body. All the hormones these emotions create. And so when it dies, it is going to have deeply embedded patterns of that, which as a person who's consuming it is going to go digest and become part of one's own physiology. So when that happens is what now you were saying, that you get into these patterns of ups and downs, depressions. And Swami said you will not even know why you have the depression, but you will have the depression. So like that, different things, and you will be sad. Of course, depression, of course, that is. And there's no, you can go to a shrink or you can go to a doctor, and for them to find where source is, you have to have a source. Now you are in a situation where you do not even have a source, and you will not be able to help yourself, nor anybody be able to help you. So that is the main reason why Swamiji says to avoid meat from that angle. Of course, we are also non-violent, so we want to avoid harming any other creature. And we have so much of food these days, so it's not a problem.
And
so, but
our biology is actually built for vegetarian.
Yeah. So the other side of having vegetarian bodies, especially through generations, is these abilities in us, these higher abilities in us, are much more stronger. So when people, so it makes so much sense, right? So when people say, some people can see God, so they have their belief in gods. So those who can't see now tend to criticize them,
Yes.
saying, "Oh, I can't see how, why if there's a God, why I can't see, or why you can see, or why I should." So you are having some blind belief, or you are visualizing it. So they're trying to accuse others. So all this so nicely fits into place,
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? No?
Yeah.
Now there's so much thing about how Hinduism is, based on blind belief,
Yeah.
and there's no God. Of course, if you and with this understanding, if you see what the people are experiencing, how much what we eat can experience, can impact what we see.
Yes. And
It makes so much more sense that of course they're now going to see you. These fellows are eating meat and doing all these things and harming their bodies and their abilities to have to see the higher frequencies of our environment.
Yes.
And even the scientists say we can only see a certain range. As humans, we can only see certain ranges. So even that we know we are limited. So this question of I can't see God, so He doesn't exist. So of course your God also does not exist. Just being actually aggressive against others.
Yes, that's
Being insensitive. What do you think, Mo?
yeah, that's yeah, that's like what actually Swamiji said. Holding the highest visualization. Through that, he's actually initiating us. That's called
So he explains science of initiation this way, right?
Yes, yeah.
How when
That's how the
Swamiji
initiation
goes
happens,
into
yes.
the state of oneness, the whole brain has a circuit.
Yes.
So when he initiates, he's transferring that to us. So that is why when one receives initiation, people have such beautiful experiences. They see God, divine beings, or they experience such states of bliss.
Yes.
And
Power manifestation, big time.
yeah,
It happens.
how with
Yeah.
one initiation,
Yes.
people are able to manifest so many powers.
Yes.
And almost instantly.
Yes.
I remember within a couple of hours, people were able to see remote vision, do body scanning with their third eye, and heal.
Materialization, just by in his being in, especially through mandala process. It happens during our Satasng. Like he didn't even touch us. We just sat in that mandala, and the Swamiji was sitting there, and then he was through that mandala process, we were materializing vibhutis, some people precious objects and everything.
I remember.
So it was amazing, because even there, like, he was holding that higher frequency, I don't know, the higher visualization, and then our brain is mirroring it, I think.
So when the way Swamiji makes all these things happen, and when he explains the science behind it, it makes so much sense. Not only with first of all, what he's saying is something new to us.
Yes.
But even fits with so many other things that are happening that we have learned or seen, makes so much sense now. So that's what is making us so excited that I got this click that that is why some people don't see God whereas others can see. It makes so much sense. So we don't have to worry about when people accuse us of having blind faith, because they are the ones who are blind, who can't see. So anyway, jokes apart. Yeah, that's the click I got. So jokes apart. No, but seriously, because
it is true.
when all I studied in my history books was that India, it didn't have anything good to say about the Indians who were originally here on the land. They were filled with blind belief, and they were doing all these things, and painted such a bad thing that you want to be proud of who you are and your life, your tradition, your land, your nation. But then, because you heard good things, but then you come and see this textbook and what it says, and then people around you also only that. They don't know anything else. Still, if you ask, if you go in the US, the one thing they ask you is, do you still have snakes? Do you still have elephants? As they're the most popular people in the world, in India. So for them, they're still carrying that images, because that is how we have been presented. And we don't know, and I didn't know how to defend, because I have no understanding of why temple, why God, why guru, why initiation, and that this life is even possible, that we can create our lives, we can manifest our lives. All this knowledge was just something unheard of, unknown to us, and but at the same time we are the ones who are affected by all these stupid ideas are being floating around by this people who do not know, who are ignorant, and chose to be aggressive with ignorance.
Yes, that's
So
true.
that is the thing. That is the problem with the world today. So if and if you have any questions, please post them here in the comment section. We should be glad to address any questions, doubts about about what we spoke about today, or about any other topic also related to our other videos that we have shared. So if you have any particular topics you want us to discuss, please you can note that down too. And thank you for listening today. And Marudra,
Yes.
I enjoyed our talk today. So shall we close with the Purna mantra?
Yes.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sadguru Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you, Nithyanandam.